Okay, family, we're back. And today I want to start off by telling you a story. This story I've wanted to share for a long time, but I've been a bit reluctant because the person that the story is about, well, it's about three people, including me. But one of the people, sometimes I'm like, should I talk, tell them the story first because they're unaware? Should I tell them first before I say it on the internet? But then I have this little nagging feeling that's like, nah, don't tell them first. Say it, and if or when they come across it, it will be more impactful that way. So here we go. Forgive me if you hear this story and you're unhappy that I shared it, but I'm going to say the story without saying your name. I would have loved to be able to say your name because it would add to the story and people will get the message, but I'm going to try my hardest to not say your name. And I say try my hardest to not say your name because I do not edit these videos. So if I say your name, then I've said your name. But anyway, okay. So, sorry, I'm getting a call. Let me put it on do not disturb. Okay. So, let me go on my photos. Yeah, so I'm going to share this story. If you hear it and you're happy for people to know who you are, then take this video and you can say, yo, Reva was talking about me, and then you can add on to the story because I'm sure you've got another side to it. Okay, let's go. So, one time I was on Instagram. This is a few years ago. I wouldn't say many, but yeah, a few years ago. I was on Instagram scrolling, and then Shocker the artist, that's his Instagram name. He had shared a post, and he has shared a post of a young gentleman who was only 21 years of age, and his mum had just passed away. No, she hadn't passed away yet. I think she was very ill, and you know, it, basically, yeah. Is it terminally ill? So you get what I mean. They had given him a time frame, so he had kind of put out an appeal. Guys, I'm 21 years old. It's just me. This is happening to me. My mom's going, and I want to bid her a good farewell. So any support will be appreciated. When I saw that post, it touched me. And also, Shocker had shared in. I've talked about Shocker in my last video. Um, what he means to me, he's an influence. So what he says matters. What he does matters. So if the post is coming from him, then you get me. It's gonna catch my attention. So I contact the young gentleman and I say, yo, hope you're okay. I've seen this post and I would like to support. And funny enough, when I saw his face, I was like, actually, I recognize this young man. I swear I saw him at some event even years before that, but that's that. It's another story for another day. So I DM him, I want to support. He's like, okay, cool. So we organize eventually, it was maybe a week or two, whatever later. I say to him, come here, come on this date, come meet me. Now, let's put that aside to give you context now. At this time of my life, I was not in a good place. Outwardly, I seemed fine. I was making money. You get me? I do share a bit of this story in my series, 10 Ways I Ruined My Life. I think it's part 7 or 5. I can't remember, one of the two. And I talk about how when you go and buy chicken and chips, the little white bag they give you, a plain, basic white bag like that, I had about £10,000 stashed in that bag. I'll bop around with it. So I was making money, not good money, obviously, not pure. It wasn't pure, but it was money. And sometimes it gets to a point you're making money so fast, and so much. Not that you don't know what to do with it, but you get me. You're like, okay, what can I do with it? How should I use this or whatever? So I was like, yeah, nah, let me donate something. So obviously you can imagine, I did my due diligence, put a nice envelope together, and then said, please come and collect it. Because the way my lifestyle was at the moment, I wasn't moving around that much. If you want to see me, me, you got to kind of come to me. So I told him, come this way. He said, cool, I'm going to come. I'm going to come with my lady friend in my bedroom because they're driving. And I was a bit away. So I think he then texted me saying, yo, I'm 15 minutes away. So I said, okay, cool. Shout me when you're downstairs. So I'm sitting down and I'm waiting. And I'm looking around and I'm thinking and I'm pondering at my life, at my situation, how things are going for me, It's not good. It's not good at all. And then I just get this idea. And I call on the young man's mum, because by this time, sadly, RIP, she's passed away. So I call on her. I say, Mum, I'm here. Look at me. Look at my life. Look at my surrounding. Look at my situation. It's not good. So I want to make an oath with you today before your son gets here. And this is what I want to present to you. I said to her, for as long as you are not on the face of this earth, because her spirit is there, but her physical body is not on the face of this earth and will never be, ever again. So I say to her, for as long as that is the case, so what I'm saying is for eternity, watch over me and watch over your son. Not only should you watch over us, elevate us. You can see the position I'm in and you can see what your son's going through right now. Watch over us, take care of us, and take us to the next level. That's the attachment I'm attaching to the donation that I'm giving to your son to support him however he wants to use it. This is the agreement. And I could feel her energy there. I know she heard me. It was sort of like, cool, I can sign up for that. And then boom, my phone rings. Yo, Reeve, I'm downstairs. I said, cool, I'm coming. Get down there, greet him. You get me, whatever his people them. It was nice. Gave him the envelope and we parted ways. And then I then get the invite some time later. He texts me, Reva, funerals, it's time for the funeral. If you can come true, come true. I said, I'll be there for sure. I get there, do the service, and then we cross over to the reception. But I wasn't at the reception for long. I can't even remember. Maybe, I don't think it was even an hour. Maybe it was an hour. And then I decided to do an Irish exit. If you know what an Irish exit is when you're somewhere in a gathering with people, but you leave without saying goodbye. So you kind of, and then by the time they know you're gone, it's called an Irish exit. Now, to be honest, I didn't know anybody there. The only person I knew was her son, my bedroom. So kind of not really an Irish exit. But I'm putting that into, so you get, so I want you to understand the distance that me and him had. He was borderline a stranger to me, but I still made that choice to say, yo, because of your story, I want to donate. Because I've gone to his mother's funeral and I don't know not even one other person there. So it shows you the distance between me and his family and his people there. So I head off and my mission's almost complete. I've got to the end of the corridor. I'm about to open the door, and then someone from the other side opens the door because they're now coming in. So I back off. I'm like, oh, sorry. You get me? I'm like, ooh, someone's clocked me leaving. You get me? And then she's like, Reva. And I'm like, because from back chat days, so sometimes I get that. Like, oh, so I just thought it was that, innit? So I'm like, yeah, it's me. And then I'm sliding off, you get me? I'm not even trying to stand there. I'm just like, yeah, about to. And she's like, wait. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, I'm not going to say her name, but my bedroom's mum who passed away, the lady that we're gathering for, she's talking about. This lady who's opened the door is now talking about the lady who's passed away that I made an oath with. Let's call her Tina for now, just so that I don't slip up. I need to have a name replaced in there. So she's like, she's like, Tina loved you. I'm like, huh? She's like, Tina used to come up to Luton, to my yard, to sit and watch Backchat London because you were on it and she loved you. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, like, how are you here? Like, you get me? And I'm like, I'm thinking, like, my heart, I don't even know what my heart did. It went up, down, left, right. To hear that this lady, at that moment, I felt like my bedroom's mum was telling me, I see you. I heard you that day, and I see you. Just as you're about to exit, you didn't want no one to see you about to exit. You came to acknowledge me. Now you're leaving quietly. I'm come to tell you, I see you. And I've always been seeing you. I've been traveling up to Luton to watch you. And I'm just like, and I'm thinking, hold on, how come my bedroom never mentioned, oh, my mum watches you. I don't know, maybe she didn't tell him. Maybe she just used to go up to Luton to just chill with her bedroom to watch me. And I guess she never knew that me and her son knew of each other in any way. I'm only actually realizing that. Maybe that's why he never actually mentioned it to her, because you guys get what I'm saying? Like, yo, that was a steep spiritual moment. So the lady that I connected with in one of my darkest moments, asking her to give me support and that, yeah. But not knowing that one of my better moments, my higher moments, she was supporting me. Not knowing spiritually, we've kind of been connected before the oath, before her part. And now let me tell you guys something crazy, which came to my head after. There was a time before she passed, I messaged her son, my bedroom, and I said, is there any chance I can come and visit your mom? And he said, yo, the way, the condition she's in and how she's doing, you get me? Basically, no visitors. It's basically just him and maybe one or two, but definitely not me, because you have to remember, as far as I'm concerned and as far as he's concerned, she don't know me from Adam. But little did we know. So now when I sit down, I think, because we have to remember, I don't know this woman. So why was I even trying to push to go and see her? But I was drawn. I was like, I want to go and see her. You get me? I want to sit with her. So when that encounter happened at the door and the lady's telling me, yo, she does know you, I'm like, rah. So that little voice sometimes in my head that says, don't tell him straight away, just share it. And when he comes across it, it might blow his mind. I feel like it's his mum saying, just share it for others to hear. He will come across it and he will know that you're talking about him. And then he will make his decision from there. So I'm going to move on. It's all going to come together. Now, no, sorry. This is my final point in regards to this story. And this is why I would love to be able to say his name, but I feel like it's best not to until he wants to come out with it. But I kid you not, the level that her son has now gone to now, yeah, And then obviously me, I'm completely out of that darkness that I was in before. She has stuck to her word. She heard me, her and God have worked together, and they have made sure that me and her son have elevated. Mother's energy. I'm going to move on to another story. And this story is about Heady One. And I'm saying Heady's name because what I'm about to talk about is already public knowledge to a degree. So I will be mindful of how I word it because I know Heady's sister. So I got respect for them. So, as you lot know, if you're a Heady fan, you don't even have to be a fan to know, but he dropped an album and he named it after his mum, Edna. And I'm originally born and bred in Farm. It was BWF, now it's OFB, but my days was BWF, Broadwater Farm. So I can't remember how old I was, but I was young, less than 10 years old, maybe 7, 8. And I remember one night, the news broke out in my house. And the news that had broken out, because I remember there was another auntie in the house and my mum was there, whatever. I think they were all getting ready to go out, something like that. And the news broke out, so it's kind of scattered them. And the news that had broken out was that Heady's mum, RIP, had sadly passed away. And that night, that day, that setting, that condition, sorry, my son's calling me, so he's probably going to burst in here anyway, so I'm just letting you guys know. Yeah? Yeah, he's probably going to burst in here, and then I'm going to have to shift the camera because I don't want you lot to see him. And so just get ready for everything that's probably about to kick off here. So that day is so engraved in my head. It's just so engraved in my head. It's one of them childhood memories that have stayed with me. And after that moment, I remember, it being a thing where it's like Heady and his sister no longer have their mom, and their situation had changed. Obviously, when you don't have your mom, things can get difficult. So it was this thing that in my head I always knew about them. So whenever I saw them, it's like, oh, their mom's not, you know what I mean? Their mom's not here, their mom's not here, their mom's not here. And I've carried that throughout life. Throughout life. But one thing that I've come to notice here, when a man loses his mother, I've started to notice this pattern of them elevating. They just go, phew. The gentleman I spoke about, I witnessed it in Heady. I witnessed it in Mist. Talking of Mist, yeah, Reset Gang, I know there's some researchers in here. Guys, I need you guys, yeah, go and look back at influencers and artists over the last 10 years who have been silenced, like they've almost vanished. No music, no content. Let's go and do a bit of research in them and let's see if there were any narratives created, especially by the Shade Borough, that kind of silenced them or made them fall into a deep depression and then kind of silenced their art and skill. Go and look into that and just drop some names in the comment if you've noticed that, because we might need to resurrect them so they can bring their energy back to the table. I noticed it in Mist. He lost his mum and he kind of rose up like a lion and he had a big, you get me, few years. So when I started clocking this pattern, I went to go and talk to my dad about it because my dad's been in the same shoes as these gentlemen. He lost his mum when he was 14. So I said, Dad, I'm noticing that there's some men, when they lose their mum, their life elevates. What's that about? What do you think that's about? Because my dad's one of them. My dad's done unthinkable things. You get me? And my dad said to me, when you have your mum, it comes with this padding and this protection. When you lose her, you wake up quickly and you know, I ain't got that padding, so I need to rise up on my feet. And I said, makes sense. Makes sense. He said, yeah. So we get up and we move. And I'm not saying every man that loses their mum does that, but I think what happens is some rise and some fall. I don't think I've really seen a middle ground. I think all of them fall if they've loved their mum and got that connection. All of them fall, but some rise, some stay down, some battle in between. They just kind of go up and down for the rest of their days. And it makes sense. It makes sense. All of them do well, to be honest. It's not easy for a man to lose his mum. It's not easy. So it brings me to this point of a man's self-image. And before I get into that, if a man, yeah, because a lot of men do lose their dads and don't have dads around and stuff like that. But when a man doesn't have his dad, it affects his spirit. But when he doesn't have his mum, it affects his soul. Pay attention to that. A man's self-image, from where I'm standing, and I'm not going to talk too deep into it because I'm not a man. So the truth is I won't really understand the true depth of it. That's why I use the term from where I'm standing, from my perspective, yeah. A man's self-image consists of two things: a failure and a provider. One or the other. If he ain't providing and doing something, automatically he puts himself in the failure bracket. And then if he's providing, he will make sure he does everything he can to remain there, even if it leads him to a level of failure. What do I mean by that? Sometimes they can stay in a toxic work environment just to be able to reach the top and get that money. Sometimes they can stay in relationships that are a bit but he doesn't want to just quit, because if I quit, then I go straight into the failure bracket. And you can add on so many more examples into that. Men, they're delicate, but they're not delicate to themselves. They're harsh on themselves. Failure or provider. Failure or provider. So this brings me here to Ambush. With Ambush, yeah, obviously I don't know him personally, but when I see him and I look at his face, he seems like a sweetheart, deep down. Things may have happened along the way that might have corrupted him a bit, but deep down, he's a sweetheart. Deep down, there's a light there, but I think along the way he chose something. I think he had a light and that light weren't respected, it weren't cherished, and he thought, forget the light, I'm gonna go. But the light still shines a little bit there. There's something about him. He's playful. And that Ray Black issue that he's gone through, yeah, there's a high chance alcohol or some substance was involved when he did that. That's why I wore it in my possession video. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. Substances and alcohol, they will twist up your life in one shot, just like that. Because him, yeah, he seems so cheeky. He's the type, yeah, sober, you know. He will tell a girl to her face sober, yo, your titty's looking good. Can I? Funny with a big smile, will be up to the girl whether she's gonna laugh or take it wrong. But sober, he will ask you that and find it funny and laugh. So for him to go and just, most likely there was some substance involved. Fast forward, we come to the point where, you know, things have been thrown in the air. So he's put his hand up to apologize. And, you know, we all hope that when we apologize, it will take the edge off or, you know, we'll be forgiven. But it's something that people just keep throwing back at him. As well as other issues that he's going through. He's got the heady one, RV stuff. He's got a youth, so he's a dad. That comes with other stuff. He's in a relationship, whether it's with the baby mother or not. Because even if you're not together, you're still in a relationship, a co-parenting one. So regardless, he's in some sort of relationship with a lady. That comes with its thing. And I'm adding the list here because the damage that my man put on Kidavelly's face, yeah, that was Ambush letting it all out. Ambush is stressed. He was, and he didn't even get to let it all out. That's why he chased him, because he had more to give him. I reckon when they first met, Kidavelly didn't run. You know him, he's a bit cheeky too. So he was there in the beginning like, what? But then after Ambush touched him, Kidavelly was like, okay, hold on. This guy ain't on what I'm on, because you have to remember, Ambush is carrying much more anger than Kidavelly is. You understand? So he's releasing different energy onto him. So Kidavelly realized, now this guy's in a different place. Let me back off. But Ambush wasn't done. He had more to let out. So Ambush, what I'm telling you is, get grounded. You need to get grounded a zillion %. This is not your end. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. It don't have to be. Get grounded and let God guide you. You ain't got nothing to worry about. Just relax and look at your child. Just stand still for about 20 minutes. Have a picture of your child and just look at them. For 20 minutes, just look at the photo, my brother, and let it ground you so it can clear your head so you can do the right thing from here. I'm not going to talk anymore and I'm going to leave it because Bouncer's in Dubai and he can't save me. You get me? I'm here. I don't want no. No, I'm joking. I'm on a mission. I'm on a duty, shall I say. I've got a job, so I have to do it anyway. I'm going to talk what I have to talk anyway. But I'll do my best, the best I can, to be respectful and understanding and open-minded. So having said that, guys, November the 23rd, Reset Gang, come true to Bouncer's event. Let's go and get our IPs. Let's go and get ownership. Let us do it, yeah? By the grace of the Almighty God, I will be there myself as well. So link up and we got to take like a Reset Gang selfie, something like that. And we got to pattern our hashtag and we need to start slapping it on things and getting this movement going, you understand? What did they say? The devil finds work for an idle hand. So now there's momentum. Let's make it move, you understand? Because someone's going to come and give us something comforting or try and, you know, make us afraid. And then, so now the fire's there. Let's move. Yeah? All right. Love.